Welcome back to the Sports Bar here at the Stadium of Light. Myself and Danny have been commentating, of course, on the game down at Elland Road. 0-0 in the end. You've got to say it was a well-fought point for Sunderland and a clean sheet.
Yeah, it was overall. I think if you look at the game as a whole, the spell we had probably 15-20 minutes in the first half, wasn't it, from sort of half an hour onwards, really. Second half, we didn't offer too much going forward, but I thought defensively well organised, rode our luck at times, one or two shouts for penalties, which we'll have a look at in a moment. But yeah, overall a good point, and you could just see how frustrated Leeds were. They will have known as well that Leicester obviously kicked off earlier, been beat at Millwall, so it was a big opportunity for them and they've not taken it. Yeah,
let's look through some of the highlights from the game then, maybe see where Leeds went wrong and Sunderland went right, because it'll be Leeds United this evening who will be kicking themselves, looking at the other scores, and then an opportunity to go top of the division. But Sunderland holding their own. Mike Dodds will be very impressed with this clean sheet.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, we took 4 points off them, haven't we, this season? 2 clean sheets against them as well. So yeah, something to look at there. And as we said there, nobody's beat them there. That's how it stands. But it's a good point on the road. Followed up with a clean sheet from the weekend, as we said there. Yes, we need to do more in the final third, and perhaps there were opportunities for us if we're a little bit tidier on the ball going forward in that second half when Leeds were a little bit loose with the passes. But just looking at the highlights as well, you can see the opportunities Leeds have had. Half chances, a lot of them really weren't there. That's probably a shout for a penalty with Dan Ballard leaning into the ball.
If we just take Somerville for an example, we really kept him outside the area, didn't they, tonight, Sunderland, and they got men around him.
Yeah, no, he was quiet, to be fair to him. He had very little opportunity. He had one in the second half as well where we got back in and the opportunity went away, didn't it? So this is that little spell where we had now, where we had managed to get a few passes in and grew in confidence in the sort of latter stages of that first half. Jack getting involved, jinks his way in there. Listen, it's a half chance again at best, isn't it? Angles against him. Amelia comes out and spreads himself well. But at that stage now, we were coming into the game and you could feel the atmosphere changing inside Elland Road with the Leeds fans getting a little bit restless. And they weren't having it their own way for all the possession they had. As we said there, Anthony Patterson now is in the changing rooms, and you're probably saying, has he had a save to make throughout the course of the 90 minutes? Not really.
Yeah, certainly not a kind of clear-cut opportunity. And Sunderland, just did their defensive duties well. Now, Dan Ballard, I said in commentary, might be public enemy number 1 down in Elland Road, but it was a real centre-half performance from him and Luke O'Neill.
Yeah, well, that's what you want, and that's what he's all about. Dan Ballard, whoever he goes up against, he wants to let them know he's there. And he was a little bit aggressive in that first half, give a few free kicks away, picked up his yellow card, and then you're worrying then for the second half coming out. And again, he's involved there, isn't he? It was given offside anyway, but he just comes into the back of Dan James, yeah. And there were 3, 4, 5 penalty shouts in the second half as well, which we'll get onto now as the action shows here. But again, we're getting good blocks in. You see the bodies around the ball. Trey Hewitt as well. He's involved in the first one there. Luke O'Neill and Callum Stiles commit on that one, and then there's Trey coming across on the cover to get the block in as well. And then there's a few half chances. This one here, Dan James drags one wide. Ethan Ampadu had one similar position. And here now, the big opportunity. We didn't have too many in the second half, but then Jack, as the ball breaks through there, you can see it from maybe this angle as we'll look at it now. Leeds careless with the ball out. Nice little touch from Job into Stiles. And you can see there Patrick just off the bench, and if Jack can beat Ethan Ampadu, good defending on the cover, gets across, then Patrick's got himself a tapping.
Somerville hitting the side netting there. Again, it's probably as close as Leeds came, or even a few fans on the other side of the stadium who actually thought that was in at that point. But more opportunities from outside the area.
Yeah, as Anthony Patterson, does he know that's wide there, or is he hoping it's going wide? Either
yes,
way,
he does.
It's into that side netting, isn't it, as you say? And then there's the free kick. Yeah, I think this one here, Melia makes a little bit of a meal of it, doesn't he, to be honest? Comfortable for him, really. He parries it wide with the post. And then here come Leeds again, really. And as the game went on, we did get a little bit deeper, didn't we? And then the balls, again, coming into the box. But you see the lads getting back in there and taking care of the situation and getting things clear.
13 corners they had this evening, Leeds, and every time they went up for it, you're thinking, well, is this going to be the opportunity? But again, the corners, they didn't really harm Sunderland either.
How many did they? 13 corners, yeah, and didn't really get any first contacts on it. Again, have we seen the one? We haven't seen it yet, have we? The big one with Luke O'Neill with the handball. Well, here it is now. So the first one, you can look there, he's got a hold of Rodon's shirt for a start, and then a bit of panic sets in, and sometimes I've seen Luke there, we've seen it before, he gets a little bit too tight and aggressive, and then his arm comes up, and I think if I'm honest, I think that's a penalty, and we've got away with one.
Yeah, Leeds fans, when they get in from the game tonight, and they'll see that one, they'll feel hard done by, won't they?
Well, yeah, you could see 2 or 3 Leeds players getting around the referee as well, but neither the linesman or the referee have spotted it. I know they're looking for another one there. No, it's not. Yeah, his arm's on his shoulder, but it's not enough. I said it, we've seen a couple this season. Mentioned it there in comms. Dan Ballard, last minute against Leeds at home, wasn't Leicester at home. That one for me wasn't enough that night, and that one again isn't either. This one here, no, Dan Ballard gets a toe in on that one, doesn't he? There's shout after shout, isn't there, from the Leeds fans. They're hoping, as you say, there, look, there, clearly gets the ball and then clatters into the man after it, into Rutter.
More chances for Leeds deep into the game. Willie Nonto on at this point, but again, a deflection over the top of Luke O'Nien,
isn't it? Yeah, Anthony Patterson, he's, as I say there, down on his knees, he's committed and it's just enough, takes it up and over the top of his crossbar. And it was all about Leeds, really, wasn't it? Late on it, are they going to manage to sneak one home? But it's not, and as you say there, it's just starting to fade out for them, wasn't it? And then hopeful balls into the box, and that was enough. So did they do enough to earn it? Probably not. You know, penalty decisions and shouts aside, from open play and the chances they've created, not enough from their point of view. And you could see the frustration on Daniel Farke's face, and he was getting aggressive with the 4th official, complaining about how many minutes went up the 3, but they didn't do enough overall for me throughout the course of the 90 minutes Leeds.
Okay, let's have a look around at the other scores this evening in the Championship. It finished Millwall 1, Leicester City 0. That's a big result at the top end of the table. Plymouth Argyle 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1, Preston North End 4, Huddersfield Town 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Norwich City 2. It was 2-0 at one point to Norwich City in that game. Southampton 2, Coventry City 1. So Southampton making ground on the top 3.
Yeah, well, they are indeed, aren't they? Yeah, we said early on it's perhaps that 3-horse race, but you know they're making a fist of it now. Southampton picking up the 3 points, and well, 2 of the sides above them haven't managed to do so this evening, and so it's over to Ipswich Town now.
Okay then, we'll see if there's any thoughts from the Sunderland fans on hashtag Ask Danny. Chloe's been in touch and said, what areas of improvement would you say Sunderland need to work on for next season?
Well, I mean, we've discussed this, I think, throughout the season, really, haven't we? I think, if we're honest, top end of the pitch. I mean, you look at it tonight, Job again is being asked to do a job up there, where obviously you've got 1 or 2 recognised centre-halves, obviously on the bench in Hemir, and, you know, Mason Burstow's had opportunities as well. Rusin's obviously out injured. So Job, in a way, is a makeshift centre-forward, isn't he? And it was a tough evening for him up there this evening. So, yeah, for me, you're obviously looking at centre-forwards, aren't you, straight away in the summer, and probably middle of the park. They're your main positions. A natural defensive midfielder in there that allows Daniel to go and play with a little bit more freedom, Pierre Ekwar, whoever else is in there alongside them.
We've got time for one more, I think. Let's have a look if we can. Stavros has been in touch. A great point. Watching in Athens. Oh, well, there we go. Fantastic. Sunderland are next in action on Saturday, away at West Bromwich Albion on Saturday 13th. It will be 2:15 will be on air from here on SAFC Live. Remember, you can watch the pre-game program for free if you subscribe to Sunderland's YouTube channel. You'll also be alerted to when we go live as well. It's a point away from home and a clean sheet for Sunderland this evening. It's goodbye from us all here at the Sports Bar.